the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians, and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
It's one of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Fuckery with your friends. Oh, wait, Stoned Appetit. Sorry, we didn't rebrand. With your host, as always, it's me, Kip, and across the screen, I got CB. What you up to, CB?
Nothing, just now that we got a house, we're working on moving in phases, and I'm getting ready to close out my old job. So, fun times.
Big shit popping over there in the Byard household. I fucking love to hear it. Somebody replied because of last week's your tip for people that may want to find a new place to live was ask your friends. Somebody was like, not everybody has fucking friends ready to rent apartments. So that was a funny reply, but I'm glad you found a home. Not everybody may have those resources, but it made me chuckle. We've got a loaded episode for you today, listeners. We have our friend of the program, CassidyEats, aka Cassidy Sarisa. She comes on once a quarter or so to talk about just life and leisure, how things are going on the other side of the city, and things going with her as a independent entrepreneur such as ourselves. We like to pick her brain, gauge it, and we've seen that we get an overwhelmingly strong response from our female demographics when we have Cassidy on. So we're stoked to have her back on the podcast this afternoon. But before we dive into that, we got a cool little intro segment. We're going to recap last week's dinner, tell y'all all about the shit you didn't get to eat with Chef Penelope Knockers and the team from Yuan Wonton. But we're also going to talk about the week ahead. We have a fuck ton of parties coming down the pike, Chris, for the end of summer as we lead up to football season. But let's do a quick ad read and let's get this party started. First off, our friends over at Standing Akimbo, the #1 medicinal dispensary in Colorado. They have the best deals. They have online ordering and a very strong social presence. They've recently unveiled their new members club, whereby signing up for their membership, you get free swag, discounts on all your products. You can find more information about that at Standing Akimbo's website. Go check them out. You can Google them, but I'm pretty sure it's standingakimbo.com. And you can also do all your online ordering through there. They go through weed maps, but you can go through their website. You can see all the daily deals, what is available to purchase through their online shop, and what needs to be bought in store itself. People often ask, why isn't the whole store located on the website? Because they churn and burn, motherfuckers. They've got great product that everybody wants. And so obviously the market dictates what's available on a daily or weekly basis. So the best way to know is to go in there and shop with your eyes and your nose, similar to how I shop for my products. But before we do that, you got to go check them out. Go to standingakimbo.com, see the hours of operation. They're located at 3801 Jason Street. And if you're just trying to do a pickup order, they've got you covered if you want to do your online ordering through Weed Maps. If you're looking for dank ass weed, you need to look to our friends over at Seed and Smith. Our secondary sponsor on this podcast is a kick-ass one, and we love them dearly. We've partnered with them to not only launch our personal dart pod, Chris, but they've also got a litany of products for everybody. So whether you're looking for, the hard stuff, the wax, the concentrates, the shatters, things of that nature, if you're looking for flower, they grow all of their own in-house, but they also have, other people's weed and other people's products in their 2 dispensaries. But you can find their products all across the Front Range and in the mountains. Not just the Stoned Appetit Dart Pod, but the pre-rolls, the concentrates, the cartridges, 510s, and the normal dart pods if you don't want ours specifically, and their flour, all of which is available. You can find it on Leafly, Weed Maps, or you can go to www.seedandsmith.com to see where the nearest location is to you. So check it out. Those are our 2 brands that we love to fuck with. It's great weed, great people. They're doing cool shit in the community. We love Seed and Smith.
Also, if you grab our dart pen, send us photos of you with it out in the wild. We love that.
Yep. And we're still doing weekly giveaways. We're going to do one gift card every week for a restaurant in the community for one of the people that supported us by buying the Dart Pod. You will also be supported by the restaurant community, and we'll continue to draw numbers for that as we continue to press on throughout the summer and the fall.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And then Chris, okay, so I think we kind of talked about it last week with I have an impingement in my neck. I went to the doctor. He works with the Broncos players. He told me I have a couple of issues that we're going to have to address through physical therapy and working out, yoga, and possibly an MRI next week. But, we're not scared of no doctors,
No.
I'm not. Shit, give me Fauci. I trust that motherfucker. It's been a big week. Trump got his house raided. But before we dive into all the political affair, I want to give a little State of the Union. We're going to check our ego at the door because we just got done with another dinner with one of the best chefs in the Colorado region, Chef Penelope Wong, Chef Knockers. Nguyen from Yuan Wonton just laid the fucking hammer down, Chris. Tell me your favorite parts of the dinner series we did last week out at Mason Jar Events Barn Series.
All right. I'll try to make this as succinct as possible. But I mean, first off, the team making a makeshift kitchen out of fryers, ovens, a stovetop was incredible. The amount of dishes that they turned out of what could
barn,
be
a fucking barn.
Yeah, was just great. And shout out to Rob for just making everybody happy. I mean,
and Caroline too. I mean, it's a whole team effort. They fucking killed.
Yeah, they were all awesome. So that in itself was a miracle. But then beyond that, what was so great about having that team was the amount of newcomers we had. Like so many people, this was their first time dining with us. And they were ecstatic about it. They were ecstatic about Penelope and her team. And so that just made it all the more exciting because we had new people, we had old people. It just expanded. And then let's talk about the fucking dishes. I mean, fuck, the chili wontons, everybody knows those are just incredible. And they added that numbnuts butter to it, the little peanut sauce, which was just fucking perfect. And then they had to tear at our heartstrings with the soft shell blue crab.
Dude, talk dirty to me. You could just bite into it. It was so savory. And then it had that like tempura, like that corn, it was a good dredge. But I mean, you were exactly right. Let's start off with the fact, I think we need to apologize for giving them a makeshift kitchen. I was kind of under the guise that they were going to bring the food truck with them. And so when they told us what they needed from the supply list, we reached out to our friends over at Bar Green Ellingson, and they were like, we'll give you some stovetop eyes. And then they were like, oh, we needed gas, not electric, which I was like, oh, fuck. Because you can't have just like shit tons of we didn't have a natural gas line in a fucking barn. So we had to use the propane aspect. And they did. They took it in stride and they churned out absolute epic dankness. I mean, from the chili tons all the way down to the angel food cake at the end, you couldn't beat it. But by God, I thought the scallops were immaculate, Chris.
Yeah.
The sear and the juiciness in the middle, I can only imagine once they kind of get their operation, the brick and mortar up and going, they tease the idea with you and I in private conversation, which we'll keep it private between us and the community listening, that they'll be doing some of their fun style dinners that help raise awareness and money at their new location in Park Hill. So holy fuck, I was in awe. But that soft shell crab, I said it during the dinner, but it gets your dick hard. It was so good. It was immaculate.
It was. And just from start to finish, like the table setups, the staff, the serving staff that helped us, they were incredible.
The front of house team that we partnered with Britt from Rebel Experiences. She did the Avalanche Stanley Cup party with Mile High Spirits. She does a lot of work with corporate sponsors around the country, but she calls Denver home and she loves doing things in the local community that, picks the community up. And so when we asked her if she would help us with this, she was like, fuck yes. And they knocked it out of the park. Same for Kendall with Mason Jar. What a vibe. The lights, the band, Roma Ransom. Heavens, Chris, we're really getting it dialed in now.
And I just want to shout out to a specific server team member, Charles, who washed dishes and a makeshift dishwasher in the back just to make sure we had dishes for every dish. That was fucking incredible. Like what a team player.
I mean, it really was like everybody rowing in unison. That's what makes the event so great. And then I guess the best part about it was we raised over $2,000 fucking dollars for the National Abortion Foundation, which obviously we know as we see this continuous battle between politicians choosing to kind of pit ourselves against our neighbors, which is bullshit when we know that most of the country believe or does believe that, you know, women should have the right to, you know, govern and determine what's best for their own body. Unfortunately, it seems that some people like to play the pawns game in the politics world. So we just like to try to help however we can. And thanks to Chef Penelope, we were able to raise over $2,000 through ticket raffles, through foundation donations at the dinner event. It was just immaculate. I can't thank the ladies of Yuan Wonton and all of the folks that joined us in the community for it. I mean, fuck, Chris, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, they're gonna keep getting better and better, and it's just gonna be.
Hey, check your ego at the door. We may not be that great, Chris. You never know. You know, God forbid. But yeah, we're going to continue to turn out great dinner series. We're going to continue to highlight local chefs in the community, and we're going to continue to try to highlight ways we can help the community become better, build better bridges between us and those, you know, around us that we may have differences, but let's find some common ground. And whether it be cannabis dinners or, you know, politics, let's find a way that we can all kind of help, you know, work in unison. Jesus, yeah. I'm fucking hungry just thinking about the Yuan Wontons. They did another drop for those that are listening today, Tuesday, but if you're listening on Wednesday, be on high alert. They have one on Thursday as well. So you definitely need to get in there and order whatever you can. So good. So goddamn good. Well, Chris, after that, we ended up having a pretty big weekend. Mile High Life, one of our other entities that we work with, was the sponsor at the Colorado Wine Walk. And so on Sunday, I went and got blotto, just straight up blackout drunk before the floods. Quite literally, like went into the office Monday. The guy that owns Mile High Sports was like, somebody got shit-faced drunk yesterday. And I was like, yeah, that's what I do. I get drunk and I say things. I'm like Tyrion Lannister, but with a little bit less meat on the bone and a little bit more height. But at the same time, what it really was, it was conditioning us for the week that we have ahead. Are you excited for this shit?
Oh yeah, getting up to the mountains. Why? I mean, granted, like let's hope a smooth I-70s thing this weekend. But with that aside, I'm pumped to get up to the mountains.
Fuck yeah, we're going to Vail Wine Classic. For those that are trying, it's maybe a little too late. They may have general admission tickets still available for the grand tasting on Saturday. Starts Thursday and goes through the week. What's it called? So it is a little bit precarious in that instance, but at the same time, it's a good time as well.
Yeah, because no matter what, I'm definitely swinging through outer range while we're up there.
And we're body, my legs working. You have to. If you don't, I would be severely. We're also going to get to showcase some of our region as well. Give me 1 second. Let me see if my internet's back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Vail's going to be a litty McTitty scene. If you want to join us for one of our wine events, we've got a bunch of cool shit coming down the pike, but I really do believe my liver is like week 4 preseason vibes right now. Like it is ready to make contact with another defense. Like I am ready to get the fuck out there. I'm ready for regular season action. And by God, we're about to fucking clip it, Chris. It's about game time.
You've been through training camp. Let's get the pads on and let's do some tackling drills.
Exactly, Chris. I want to tackle some wine. And so we'll have a recap video. We'll recap the debauchery next week. But Chris and I are going out there. We got camera, we got the baby mic, and we've got livers that are in prime, 32-year-old Tom Brady shape. We are ready to fucking go.
Bombs.
Yes, sir. But Chris, for those that are listening, obviously we have a kick-ass guest joining us, presented by Eden Extracts, the medicine that I've been